baited Caitlin Clark, for lack of a better way of putting it. If it was a dude, I'd say neutered, but, you get my point. She has taken away Caitlin Clark's greatest asset, which is the creator and instigator of offense. All right, Stephanie White puts out a lineup yesterday. Aaron McDonald.
The aftermath of Indiana's disappointing 19-point home loss to Golden State has intensified scrutiny surrounding coaching decisions and strategic implementation. Fan frustration has reached unprecedented levels following what many considered a mismanaged return game for Caitlin Clark after her injury absence. The game's outcome has sparked widespread analysis of tactical choices that appeared to underutilize available talent. Clark's positioning at small forward rather than her natural point guard role generated particular criticism, with observers questioning the logic behind such lineup configurations when the team's most effective combinations were readily available. Historical connections between coaching staff members have emerged as a focal point of recent discussions. Research has revealed that Stephanie White's playing career included time under Carolyn Peck's guidance at Purdue, where they achieved championship success together.
Stephanie White puts out a lineup yesterday. Aaron McDonald starting at point. Kelsey Mitchell's at shooting guard. Caitlin Clark's at small forward. And I'm like, what is going on? Are we trying smaller lineups? I guess, okay, but are we doing a point forward situation? Is that what we're doing? We're doing a LeBron James point forward. No, the hell we ain't. We ain't. We're just running the same old, I want to say same old offense, but I don't know what that offense is.
This relationship has gained attention following Peck's recent comments about Indiana's effectiveness without Clark on the court. The coaching tree analysis extends beyond individual relationships to examine philosophical influences and strategic preferences. Peck's assertion that the team operates more dangerously without their star player aligns suspiciously with White's apparent tactical choices, raising questions about shared perspectives on superstar utilization and team basketball concepts. White's previous coaching experience at Vanderbilt has come under renewed examination following recent performance concerns. Records indicate significant roster turnover during her tenure, with multiple high-performing players entering transfer portals after seasons under her direction.
Offense, but I don't know what that offense is. The Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston deadly connection, pick and roll, two-man game connection that has worked this whole season, gone. Poof. The one thing that was in existence that actually worked, that felt like a little bit of something offensive that worked, gone. Gone. Caitlin Clark has a horrible game in her return. The whole team is horrible. I mean, what have I said on...
This pattern suggests potential challenges in managing talented personnel and maintaining team chemistry. Statistical analysis of the Vanderbilt period reveals concerning trends in both performance outcomes and player retention. Key performers who had established strong statistical production under previous coaching staff saw their roles diminish or transferred to other programs entirely. The exodus included players who had received conference honors and demonstrated consistent scoring capabilities. The current situation mirrors some historical patterns from White's collegiate coaching experience.
I mean, what have I said on reactions to games, folks? When you got a big three, 2 out of the big 3 have to show up and produce. All right? All right, so that means that one of the big 3's always got another big 3's back. Some games, like against the Lynx, the Liberty, when you get to playoff time, you need all 3 to show up and show up big. The fandom is in pure crash out mode. Somebody exposed.
High-talent players seeking greater utilization and strategic fit have become a recurring theme throughout her coaching career. These precedents raise questions about adaptability and willingness to adjust systems based on available personnel strengths. Fan sentiment analysis reveals a significant divide within the supporter base regarding coaching evaluation and strategic assessment. Traditional franchise supporters often defend organizational decisions, while newer fans attracted by Clark's presence express increasing frustration with systematic limitations on her impact and effectiveness. The polarization extends beyond simple coaching preferences to broader questions about organizational priorities and competitive philosophy.
The fandom is in pure crash out mode. Somebody exposed something out there, one of the followers of this channel, that hell I didn't even know. But I got to tell you, now that I know it, I'm like, the F is going on here? What is going on? I got tagged in this. Phoenix, who follows me on X, follows the channel, alerted us. A lot of people, Evelyn DR, alerted me to this.
Some observers have suggested that institutional resistance to Clark's style of play reflects deeper cultural conflicts within professional basketball regarding individual brilliance versus systematic team concepts. Industry commentators have begun questioning whether organizational decision-making reflects intentional limitations rather than strategic mistakes. The possibility of deliberate constraints on Clark's impact has generated conspiracy theories and speculation about institutional agendas that extend beyond basketball considerations. The economic implications of continued fan dissatisfaction cannot be ignored by organizational leadership. Attendance patterns, merchandise sales, and television ratings all depend heavily on entertainment value and fan engagement levels.
Stephanie White have an agenda. Her coaching style is influenced by her NC2A championship coach, Carolyn Peck, of ESPN fame, of just 3 or 4 days ago, the Indiana Fever are more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. Where did she get that from? Question mark. Do you know what I'm starting to say? The same Peck.
Sustained strategic choices that reduce these factors could have significant financial consequences for the franchise. Clark's documented court vision and distributing abilities have drawn comparisons to legendary playmakers throughout basketball history. Her capacity for creating scoring opportunities for teammates while maintaining personal offensive effectiveness represents a rare combination that typically serves as the foundation for championship-caliber offensive systems. The disconnect between available talent and tactical utilization has become a central theme in ongoing discussions about coaching effectiveness. Elite players require strategic frameworks that enhance rather than constrain their natural abilities, particularly when those abilities represent generational talents capable of transforming organizational trajectories.
Starting to say, the same Peck that said Fever is more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. Look, they had success together. All right. Okay, I guess I don't want to come up. Nonetheless, they won a championship together. Peck is the head coach of Purdue. Stephanie White was, look, Peck joins White's staff at Vanderbilt. By the way, she ran everybody out of Vanderbilt. Right here, NC2A. Right here, NC2A championship. White was a senior and star player for Purdue when they won a national title under Carolyn Peck's coaching. And I got to tell you, you want to see a great way to fracture the Fever fandom? It's happening right now. Because you got the old WNBA fandom and some old Fever fans that will not tolerate any negativity about Stephanie White. All right? I wonder why. Look.
Some observers have suggested that NBA coaching experience might provide better preparation for handling transcendent players who require specialized tactical approaches. Player development considerations have become another area of concern regarding current strategic implementation. Elite athletes typically require challenging roles that allow for growth and skill expansion rather than systematic constraints that limit their impact and effectiveness on team success. The franchise faces mounting pressure to demonstrate tactical evolution and strategic adaptation based on available personnel. Continued implementation of systems that appear to diminish rather than enhance star player effectiveness could accelerate speculation about organizational changes and personnel decisions.
It's being ran for Natasha Hart. And they're playing 3 out 2 in. And I want to see if I can get any clips here. I want to see if I can get any clips of it. Because it was really bad early in the fourth, late in the third. Like, it got real bad. And the Indiana Fever, they play a 3 out 2 in offense. It is 2025. We are watching a team.
Performance expectations for elite players operating within constrained systems typically result in statistical production below their natural capabilities. The gap between potential impact and actual results serves as a measurable indicator of tactical effectiveness and strategic alignment between coaching philosophy and player strengths. The organizational response to mounting criticism will likely determine both short-term competitive outcomes and long-term strategic direction. Leadership must balance coaching staff support with acknowledgement of tactical concerns that affect both performance results and fan engagement levels throughout the remaining season schedule. Recent offensive performances by Indiana reveal fundamental systemic problems that render their basketball approach ineffective and outdated.
Play a 3-out, 2-in offense in 2025. I repeat, we are watching 3-out, 2-in 2025. What is going on? It is 2025. Not even the Wings play 3-out, 2-in. Not even the Sun play 3-out, 2-in. The Suns suck. The Sun.
The team's strategic decisions create spacing nightmares that eliminate natural advantages and force players into uncomfortable situations throughout games. The combination of Caitlin Clark and Natasha Howard produces consistently poor results due to conflicting positional demands and spacing requirements. When both players occupy the court simultaneously, offensive flow deteriorates significantly, creating stagnant possessions and limited scoring opportunities. Indiana operates a 3-out, 2-in offensive system that belongs to previous basketball eras rather than modern strategic thinking. This approach contradicts contemporary spacing principles and creates congestion that limits player movement and offensive creativity.
Suck! Like, I don't understand. We are playing for middies. We're playing for tough post shots. We're clogging the lane. Our guards can't drive anymore. Kelsey Mitchell, who used to live off back cuts into the paint. Caitlin Clark, who you weren't able to overplay because she was so much of a threat going downhill, is now a non-factor going downhill because you put...
Even struggling teams like Dallas and Connecticut avoid such restrictive offensive constructions. Connecticut's recent poor performance doesn't stem from using antiquated spacing concepts, making Indiana's commitment to outdated systems particularly puzzling. The lane congestion eliminates driving opportunities for guards who previously thrived on penetration and scoring near the basket. Kelsey Mitchell's effectiveness has declined significantly due to reduced cutting lanes and driving space that previously defined her offensive contributions. Clark's downhill impact has diminished drastically because interior congestion removes her driving threat.
Put a second fucking post player in there! You put an extra defender and an extra post player who, by the way, Natasha Howard has some weird fetish for playing on the fucking strong side and getting in the way. She refuses to play on the weak side, ever. She refuses to try play the baseline, play low, play out a short corner. She gets in the way of every single drive. And at least Kelsey Mitchell can sometimes put up crazy floater thingies that sometimes go in. That's not necessary.
Teams can now overplay her perimeter positioning without fearing aggressive drives toward the basket, fundamentally altering defensive approaches against her. Howard's positioning preferences exacerbate spacing problems throughout possessions. Her tendency to occupy strong side positions interferes with guard penetration and eliminates weak side spacing that could create offensive advantages. Rather than utilizing baseline positioning or short corner spacing that would enhance guard play, Howard consistently positions herself where she disrupts driving lanes and forces contested shots from teammates. Mitchell's floater attempts represent desperate offensive measures rather than quality shot creation.
Early Caitlin Clark's game. She can't drive anymore because Natasha Howard is in the way. She can't get free from the three-point line because no one gives her the ball. She can't get free off the dribble because they overplay her because they know the drive's not a threat anymore. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We have a modern basketball point guard, and you have a system from 2003! You changed your entire teams. The team was better this time last year.
While she occasionally converts difficult attempts, this approach reflects systematic problems rather than sustainable offensive strategies. Clark's inability to generate clean driving opportunities forces her...
They changed everything to accommodate Natasha Howard! And I understand they won the Commissioner's Cup. I understand there are certain periods in a game where you get the ball to Natasha Howard. Not build your offense around her. You don't build your offense around Natasha Howard. You don't clog in the lanes because, one, it makes Kelsey Mitchell worse. She's less efficient than last year. It makes Caitlin Clark worse. She's way less efficient.
While Howard contributed to Commissioner's Cup success, building entire offensive systems around her limitations creates more problems than benefits. Occasional post-up opportunities don't justify systematic disadvantages for other players. Efficiency declines across multiple players demonstrate the system's inadequacy. Mitchell and Clark both show reduced effectiveness compared to previous seasons when spacing allowed natural player movement and shot creation. Aaliyah Boston represents the only player whose performance maintains consistency within current systems.
Efficient than last year. Aaliyah Boston, fair enough, her and Natasha Howard can sometimes work off each other. But like, what are we doing? We have a literal system that is designed to play like it's 1986. We might as well be playing like it's 1986. It's like Stephanie White thinks that Alyssa Thomas is walking through that door. It's like Stephanie White thinks Bree Jones.
Her ability to work alongside Howard in interior spaces provides occasional offensive production, though even this combination faces limitations. The strategic approach resembles basketball from decades past rather than contemporary offensive thinking. Modern basketball emphasizes spacing, movement, and creating advantages through player positioning rather than interior congestion. White's apparent expectation that players like Alyssa Thomas and Brianne January will somehow materialize reflects disconnection from current roster construction. Building systems for imaginary players rather than actual personnel creates inevitable mismatches.
Is walking through that door. What are we doing? Caitlin played her role. Ironically, Caitlin played her role today. Caitlin played her role. If anything, Caitlin took too many shots. She tried to force the issue a little bit too much. If anything, with the way they are playing right now, Caitlin did a bit too much. She forced the issue because nothing. She doesn't get easy. She hasn't taken an easy shot in about 4 games. She can't.
Clark's shot selection reveals systemic forcing rather than natural offensive flow. Her recent performances show a player trying to create individual success within poorly designed team concepts. Defensive pressure becomes increasingly effective against congested offensive systems. Teams can apply double teams and aggressive coverage knowing Indiana lacks proper spacing to punish such tactics. Recent games demonstrate opposing teams' ability to deploy multiple defenders against guards at half court without consequences.